morning. This is the Board of Public Works and Safety in Kokomo, Indiana. Today is February the 14th. Our first order of business today is to approve the minutes from the February 7th meeting. Can I get a motion on that, please?
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the meeting held on February 7th.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And nothing from police or fire today. We'll move on to new business. And first is to accept bids for the Broadway Street sidewalk curb replacement project.
Okay, I got one.
Did you happen to bring a letter of them?
No.
We only have one bid from A&B Paving. And where do they usually put these things, Sarah?
That says financial, that's why I went there. Or what's that say, bid what? Oh, no, that's a bid for, I know it's high, that's better. I'm trying not to get too close to you.
You're okay.
Which was the front one? Sometimes they put it really close to the front too. Right after the agenda, the index.
That's where we all sign. I'm not seeing each other, no. The amount of $697,617. You get a motion on that, please?
Make a motion to take the bid under advisement.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And next is to consider public hearings and updates for cleanups and unsafe structures. Chelsea?
All properties listed below have been abated by our office. To date, the items remain in violation. I'm requesting permission for city crews to enter onto the properties and remove the abated items listed. 1112 East Mulberry Street.
All right, this time I'll open for public comment on just that cleanup. And hearing none, we'll take a motion.
I would make a motion to allow permission for city crews to enter onto the properties and remove the abated items listed on 112 East Mulberry Street.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, and the next one, I have an order to demolish 624 West Jackson Street. We have an unsafe substandard structure at 624 West Jackson Street due to it being an impaired structural condition that makes it unsafe to a person or property. It is vacant and not maintained in a manner that would allow human habitation, occupancy, or use under the requirements of a statute or an ordinance. The order to demolish was issued on November 28th, 2023 via certified mail, hand delivery, and legal publication. All persons with a substantial property interest have confirmed receipt of the order and notice of today's hearing. No one with an interest has contacted inspection services regarding a schedule of renovations, and the property owner has not complied with the order to demolish. As a result, I'm asking the board to affirm the order to demolish and issue findings of facts and support.
All right, and at this time, I'll open for any public comment. So if you could. Yes, that's totally fine. If you would, please step in like
I know there's not a lot of people here, but there's a public hearing, so
Okay.
we gotta treat it like that,
Okay,
just
that's
as a
fine.
record,
I'm
so
just not familiar, I'm
I
sorry.
need your name and address to start, okay?
My name is Robin Carroll. I
Okay.
live at 4382 West State Road 18, Kokomo, Indiana.
And you're
I'm her sister,
Speaking on behalf of,
Laura Lanning,
And-
908 South Diamond, Kokomo, Indiana.
and Flora is the owner of 624 West Jackson Street?
Yes.
Okay.
So she acquired this property in 18. A lot of things have happened since then. I'm just gonna skip all this, because the thing we wanted to find out is why she's here today. She wanted to find out about the blight elimination program. She never heard of that before. Somebody told us about it recently, and I researched it, and I found a name for it. So she can't afford to tear down the property. It is unsafe. But she has no means to tear it down. We'd be glad to tear it down ourselves, but neither one of us is physically able right now due to health issues. So, that's where we're at.
So what typically happens on the property is that we issue the order to demolish, we issue bids.
Okay,
Once those bids come back, then if we accept the bids, then whoever the contracting company typically does the demo. And then that demo is considered a lien against the property. And I think it goes on does it go on the property
Yeah,
tax
it goes on
rolls?
the property tax bill.
So if the demo costs $30,000, it doesn't come out of pocket, but it does become a lien against that property.
so what is this blight program I'm hearing about to help with demolition of properties that people can't afford to tear down?
So blight elimination is a city function that we have access to funds to help us afford tearing down properties within a community. So it's typically for properties that have, fallen off the tax rolls, nobody's got them anymore, they haven't been passed down, the owner's deceased. We're able to go in and basically get a hold of grant money to afford to tear those down. So, same process here, we're putting out bids, city's gonna have to front the cost of this demo. That's what blight elimination project is we're fronting that cost, and then we still put the lien against the property for what the demo costs. Does that make sense?
It does. I did, so I'm just not aware of all this.
Sure.
So what happens is if that lien's not paid, then it typically goes on the tax rolls. If the taxes in that form aren't paid, then it goes to, the property goes back to tax sale. That's what,
So one thing I'm confused about is this tax sale, because this thing was supposed to have already been sold at a tax sale back in 2021.
Okay, certified for or sold on?
It was sold because it was out of her name at one point. It was in a, hold on. What? What was it, Flo? Jeanette Guru, or is it G-U-R-U, Flo?
Yeah.
So then she wasn't worried about that. She wasn't worried about it because it wasn't her name, right? It was sold at tax sale. She thought it was sold. Then it came back in her name, and then all this stuff comes. So I'm just kind of confused.
Yeah, so when something goes to a tax sale, they're selling a certificate, they're selling a lien against it. So they're not actually buying it at that point. There's still a redemption period, then an individual could come back and pay the taxes and get it back. Or if the individual doesn't follow through the court system to get it actually assigned in their name, then it reverts back.
Okay.
So the only thing they're buying at a tax sale is a lien against it. They're not actually buying it at the tax sale. There's still a whole legal process for like a year
Okay.
after that
So
thing.
what? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no, I get it, that's totally fine.
I don't know about all that either. So that's why I'm confused.
Yep.
So I really don't know what we need to do here. I'm just trying to help her out.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I don't know. And I
Yeah.
understand it needs to be torn down. I agree.
Yep,
So
so this order to demolish, we, city, will advertise for bids.
Okay.
We'll get contractors.
Okay.
We pay contractors to tear it down.
okay,
Then we put a lien against that property,
okay,
and if property taxes aren't paid, it goes on a tax sale,
okay.
and the process goes on from there. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So if, let's say, she can't do nothing with it, because we can't rebuild on it, we already know, it's a flood area. Where was I going with this? Hold on, I lost my train of thought.
ultimately Flo would end up losing the property, probably, as if she didn't pay the lien.
What's funny is, we tried to donate this property to Lincoln School for parking years ago, and the city inspector wasn't very cooperative, so this is where we're at, so unfortunately. All right, I'm just gonna let it go then, because if it's gonna get torn down anyway, that keeps everybody safe, that's wonderful. I just came, like I said,
Sure.
for her,
Yeah, that's what this process
there
is
was
for.
just so much, going on, and we can't
Yeah.
do nothing with it, we can't, like I said, we can't rebuild on it, so, and she's got a lot of health issues and stuff she's gotta worry about, so she can't
Sure,
worry about this, so we're just gonna let it go then,
okay.
okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so with that, we'll close the public hearing, and then I'll take a motion.
I'd make a motion to affirm the order to demolish and issue findings of fact and support.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, ladies. All right, next is to award a bid for the 1815 North Delphus Street. This comes from Peter Shaw, one of our development specialists. On November 15th of 23, the Board of Public Works and Safety received bids for the demolition of a residential structure located at the above referenced address. Bids received are listed as follows. Alliance Excavating and Demolition, Inc., in the amount of $12,680. Alliance Excavating and Demolition, Inc. has submitted the lowest, most responsive bid for this demolition project. We recommend awarding the demolition contract to Alliance Excavating and Demolition, Inc. Can I get a motion on that, please?
I would make a motion to approve the bid of Alliance Excavating and Demolition, Inc.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And last today is to consider a change order in the Turf Dogs contract. This comes from Tori Rowe, our superintendent of the Parks Department. Attached is a estimate for change order number 1 for the Kokomo Landscape contract structured by Turf Dogs Lawn and Landscaping in the amount of $3,910.60 per month through February 28th of 2025. The estimate for change order number 1 reflects additional properties that are currently being maintained by Turf Dogs. Now, this change order also includes the additional trail extensions to the Cloverleaf Trail from Markland to Dixon, as well as the trail along Center Road from Dixon to Pine Valley Apartments. I recommend the Board of Public Works and Safety approve change order number 1 in the amount of $3,910.60 to Turf Dogs Lawn and Landscaping for the additional work outside the previous scope. Can I get a motion on that, please?
Make a motion to approve change order number 1.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. No correspondence today? All right, any items from the public? Hearing none, items from the board? Nope, all right. Last today is to approve claims in the amount of $2,333,232.09.
Make a motion to approve the claims.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, and we are adjourned. Thank you.